when you remove the blocks, it seems to me that happiness is a natural state. And so it is very helpful to create images and play them out. But at the same time, just doing the process of removing the blocks, happiness will fill in the void.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, your body's going to produce hormones and chemicals and all that stuff. So if you practice happiness, it's going to produce endorphins and all kinds of good stuff. And if you practice depression, it's going to produce all the things that make you feel horrible and make you sick. So, you know, your body's going to produce, and you have the choice of what you want it to produce.
Absolutely.
If you have the negative thoughts long enough, it is going to cause chemical imbalances in your body. Stress has physical symptoms. So once you're already there, is it such a bad idea to seek medical treatment until you can change your thought patterns back to the positive?
Well, I think it's important to do whatever you can do to survive. Yes, it is thankful that there is alcohol and drugs out there that people can use, because if they didn't have the alcohol and drugs, they'd go crazy. At least it helps them lessen the pain. But the problem is it doesn't get rid of it. It helps create more. And so I would never say, well, don't go see a doctor and not seek medical attention, because I'd be probably in jail because of some bad advice, but malpractice or something. But it is important, and I can't impress how important it is to go back to your past and heal it. And if you have a past that is scary to go back to, and you know it's big, I'm here. And there are some students who want somebody to practice on, guys. This is a great opportunity to heal. Now here's what'll keep you from healing. We say we don't want to go there, in a sense, because it hurts. But if we don't go there, we're really saying, I want to keep this. I want to keep this. It's valuable to me. You know, I had a sister-in-law. She said, Robert, if I go to that trauma, if I go there and I let it go, who will I be? I said, well, I mean, you're a Christian. And of course, if you have negative, bad stuff inside you, is that a positive thing to keep? No. I said, this is what you'll be. You'll be happier. You'll have freedom. Now, somebody else said, well, they said, well, if I tap away this bad feeling, I'm afraid I'll be a robot because I can't feel any other emotions. I said, hold on just a second. Whenever the bell rang, you always slobbered. You always felt bad exactly the same way every time it happened. You're acting like a robot now. You have no options but one: slobber. That's it. So the tapping gives you new options. Do you want new options? Of course you do. And of course, all the questions and all that represents F-E-A-R, fear. And what I call fear is, some say false evidence appearing real, but feelings emerging, affecting reality. That's mine. Feelings emerging, affecting reality.
You spelling affecting with an A?
Yeah. Affecting.
There's affect.
I'm using the A one, whatever that one is.
It works.
It works.
Because affect is a feeling associated with words. Like,
All right, Dan, you're getting...
you say the same thing, two different feelings associated with that word.
Really. Feelings emerge, affecting. Effect and effect.
Affect is a cause and effect relationship. Affect is emotions attached to a word.
There you go. It's still affecting. Maybe. I don't know. That's gray area for me. I tried to take English 2, 3 times, and I failed each time. I gave up. I just went to do the rest of the college. I never did finish that. So I should tap on that now, because you know why I did that? I had trouble with English. Because she had set me in front of the class. Set me in the middle of the class. I must have been a troubled child back then. Young. And I also had another English teacher, literature teacher. She was mean to me too. But I need to go back and tap on that, shouldn't I?
Now, along the line of what you just said, they didn't.
No, well,
You interpreted it.
well, guys, people do things to us. They do. But it's also how we interpret it at the time and the emotions that is sent and what we receive.
You may want to be able to see you right there.
Yeah, she wanted me to be important, and I'm taking it like I'm in trouble, who knows. Which, by the way, I probably was in trouble a lot, so I was a troubled child, the oldest of 6.
Okay, when it goes to childhood, sometimes bad things do happen to children, okay, and they don't cause it. Right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so in tapping out that, I mean, you're left with the feeling of what happened, but you didn't co-create. Well, see, I get confused there, because even as a child, I believe that I co-created,
Right. Well,
or that I had a level of responsibility.
well, you have to understand, and this is my philosophy is this, and I'll be quite as blunt as I know how to be. Shit happens. I mean, seriously. I mean, this is an imperfect world. I don't know what it is, but it just happens. He said it's an anger towards God. Well, I just think things happen. I mean, it just happens. And the deal is you got to figure out what you're going to do with it. Now, of course, there's a different set of attitudes. Some people say, well, I chose this life pattern. I chose this lesson to learn. I thought, well, of course, I have references where somebody said I had it 17 times. I said, well, are you a slow learner? I mean, 17 times is about 15 too many, okay? But what the problem is, we fall in love with it, and we buy a badge, and we practice it. It becomes a life pattern, and we fall in love with it. And so I believe that things happen, and if you have ability to feel, here it is, you got a 2-year-old child, and they're being abused. The child did not attract this. They just happened to be born in the wrong family and be at the wrong place at the wrong time. But after you're 40 years old and you keep replaying it, you're doing it to you now. And so the deal is the past does not exist now. You create it, you manifest it, so you go to that memory, you totally change it where it never happened. That's what you want to do.
In response to what Jennifer was saying a minute ago, a friend of mine and I, we've argued this because in certain spiritual paths, we're choosing this. But he said, if you say that to people, then you're inducing guilt. And he said, yes, they may be choosing it on an unconscious level, but they're not responsible till they understand what you're teaching, how to unchoose it. If they're unconscious about it, then on one level they chose it and they keep repeating it. But they shouldn't feel bad about it, and because if they could do better, they would do better. And when they know how to do better, they will do better.
Well, I think it's real important. Stuff happens, okay? Once it happens, and you have it recorded information here, and then later on, if you're repeating it, then you're the one creating it now. But if it just happens and you don't know how to let it go, then you will attract part of that. But we as children, and even as adults, we didn't know we can tap away and change it. We thought we were stuck with it. We're going to drag it around until we're dead. So you have to understand, we do create part of it, but sometimes it happens as original problem and you didn't do it. You're just an innocent little kid. Unless you like feeling guilty and you know how to feel guilty and you're still blaming yourself and you're so powerful and all this other stuff, because there are super women and super women and super Mother Teresas, and there's lots of Jesus Christ running around here thinking they can heal the world. You're not.
I think I'm just not understanding. I heard, correct me if I'm wrong, I heard you say you go back to the past, you change it, it didn't happen. That sounds like denial to me. No. And denial's not our friend.
Well, the deal is, I want you to understand, the past doesn't exist now. What's real? You're right here. Nothing before this moment is real. If you go to the past and you feel it to be real, you tap it and release it because it's not real anymore. Okay? Now, see, the denial is taking it and tucking it and hiding it. See, we're not denying it. We're owning straight up. We own it. We feel it. We produce it now. Release the emotions then because it doesn't exist anymore. You could feel like, You can feel like crap right now. Some of you know how to do it. You can feel depressed right now, can't you? How do you do it? You think, you focus, you produce. But you're doing it from your past. You're the producer of it.